Welcome back to Moto Guzzi, and we're picking up where we left off with the bodywork. We gave it another sprinkling of white and a gloss coat. I don't know if it's at all metallic. Should we take it out in the sun, find out? Well, it looks all white. And I don't mean all right, I mean all white. It just looks white, no metallic. I have one other idea. A dusting of fairy dust. And if that doesn't work, we'll just give up and paint it white. Alright? Alright. While that's drying, before we look at that, you've got time to subscribe down here somewhere and give the video the thumbs up. So, do that and let's have a look. Well, actually, I think that could work. So what I need to do is actually cover it all up with white, solid, and then do that sprinkling thing. Before I do that, I'm just going to give it a light sanding down, a bit of wet and dry to get a nice smooth surface. Meanwhile, I've come up with a sticker design for the top of it. I think that'll look kind of cool. So what I ended up doing was actually painting it solid white, and while the white was still wet, I hit it with the fairy dust. I think I like it. Not quite sure how I'm going to manage that with the fuel tank being a larger area again, i.e. hitting it while it's all still wet. That could be complicated. Yes, the fuel tank. Well, has it arrived yet? Well, no. Might as well get on with the other side panel then. Primed, white and sprinkled with fairy dust. Second time around, even better. And took me about 15 minutes in total. Drying time not included, but here in Arizona that's fairly quick. And on the subject of bodywork, our seat has turned up. Not bad. It's very close on the back wheel. Well, in fact, it's resting on it right now, but it fits. With our bars, I think we can chop them a bit more and then just lift it up at the back. Oh, and just a little elevation at the back should bring it clear of the wheel. Comes with a suitably moulded seat as well. Lovely. Got to find a light that fits that, I guess. Good news, stickers have arrived. The trouble is, these guys have changed their deal. So before you used to be able to buy a A4 sheet or a letter sheet or whatever with exactly what you wanted on it for like $10. Now you have to buy 5 small sheets with the same thing. Yeah, I don't really want that. So we got a lot of Guzzi stickers basically. Anyway, they look good. Both sides. Before we work out what we're going to do with this end of the electrics, I might put one of those 4 or 5 pin plug things on it. We've got to work out how we're going to feed it into this side panel, which is where the regulator and rectifier are going to live. We can either drill a hole here on the top, right, feed it in there, or we drill a hole in the side, let go. Or we drill a hole in the side and pump it through there. And that all rather depends on what we do with this, and ultimately these, which are the original Guzzi connectors for the rectifier and regulator. So, and that depends on whether we're going to use one of these in between. I don't really see the advantage of doing that. Either way, we're going to have to dig a fairly large size hole in the side panel there. Been having a look at the seat again, and lights. I have this retro rear light kicking around. I kind of like that, but then again, I kind of prefer these. Yeah, I think they'll look quite cool. whilst we can't look at fitting this yet until we get the tank and see where that's going to fit, we have got some lights, and I think they're better than I expected, actually. Yeah. Finally, obviously we won't be using the license plate holder, but I think it's going to fit absolutely lovely. Yeah, so we're going to drill a couple of holes in there. Well, that's bollocks, isn't it? I hoped, having undone those nuts there, that this back plate would just come away, because all we want is the plastic unit with the lights. And then we're going to drill big holes, like inch holes, in here and mount them through there. But it's got all that cobblers attached to it. Wrong again, just needed a little gentle persuasion with a screwdriver. So we've got that off. Lovely. And they look like that. Yeah, it's all right. Might put a red lens over the top. I don't know. Unfortunately, none of these are quite big enough. But it's a good starting point, and then we'll finish it off with one of these boys. First up, measuring. So each one is 40mm, give or take, and roughly 90mm from end to end. Our flat area is 120, give or take. So we're going to start with a straight line across the middle. It's a little bit low, maybe. Anyway, then we're going to take 90 away from our 120, which gives us 30. And we're going to divide that by 2, which gives us 15mm in from each side. Is where the edge of the lens will be, and each lens is 40mm, so we're going to divide that in half and add that to the 15, so we end up with a total of 35. That's where our holes are going to go, like that. Just going to double check that. So there's the outer edges of the lenses marked, leaving us a 10mm gap in between. And that's what we got there. So that's good. Well, stage 1 and stage 2 completed, and even the biggest step drill wasn't big enough for the holes. So we're going to have to get a bigger step drill. Our drill bit has arrived. It unscrews. That's one major step drill. Yes, nice drill bit. Trouble is, the bit is too big for the chuck. So it would appear any drill bit of this magnitude has a 1/2 inch drive, which is too big for any of my chucks. Well, apart from that one over there. But somewhat ironically, that drill bit itself was like 20-something bucks, and for less than half as much again, I can buy an entirely new drill with a 1/2 inch chuck. So that's what I've done. Let's be honest, I've had this for at least 10 years. There's nothing wrong with it. I will keep it, obviously. But I've ordered myself a new battery powered one. So when that arrives, we can finish off those holes in the seat and fit our lights. New drill has arrived. It fits. It works. It fits. Job done. And with the aid of some Velcro pads, cut to size, that'll fit in there nicely. Right, better paint it, I suppose. But wait, before we paint anything, we should really work out how we're going to mount it. Yes, I love painting things, and therefore I paint them before I should. So before we do that, we're going to look at mounting. And obviously it would be foolish not to use the mounts that already existed for the old seat Yes, we're still waiting for the fuel tank. But we've got to work out some kind of bracket that comes off there that we can bolt onto the inside of the seat, round about there somewhere, without having nasty nuts and bolts sticking outside. That's going to be complicated, because that's what we've got to play with in there. Unless we can come up with a bracket that somehow we bond into here, whether it's with fiberglass or something, right? The more I look at this seat and the back wheel situation and clearance, I think we need to shave a little off that rear lip, modify it slightly, give us a little bit more clearance. Or maybe something a little more radical still. Yeah, I'm thinking to shave it off to that top line, so it comes flush with that scoop out there. We could do the scoop in red as well, that might look good. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. No point in messing around with half measures. Cut. Much better. Just needs a bit of a tidy up. So I'm going to get on with that, tidy all that up, and hopefully by then fuel tank will have arrived and we can get on with some serious stuff. Meantime, if you've got any ideas about how to mount the seat, obviously leave them in the comments down below, and while you're there, of course, subscribe, give the video the thumbs up. I'll catch you later, and of course encourage others to watch my lunacy.